I guess before I get into like the deck profile, huge shouts to Team 7X1 for sponsoring me and flying me out to Ycs Richmond. He's absolutely like one of the best sponsors ever, and also like one of my closest friends. Hey guys, go to txx1.com and use pack10 for 10% off. You can get access to the best sleeves, best over sleeves in the game for competitive play. The Supreme Pros are what I'm currently using for my main deck right now, and if you guys want to get access to them as well, go to txx1.com and use pack10 for 10% off. See you there. Anyways, enjoy the video. He's gonna be releasing new Supreme Pros, so like different colors such as pink. So expect that soon. And then obviously like shout out to my coach. For those of you who don't know, his name was Gianfranco. He's from Peru. Amazing guy. Like absolute genius with this deck. Like literally a genius with the Infernoble deck. He taught me a lot of like lines in the deck that like beats like Imperm Nib, lines that like beat Nibiru by itself in a 2-card combo that people didn't even know. And then my main testing partners were Gibro, Walter, Gunther for this event. And then I had some people who helped as well, such as Rudy. Rudy did really well with Infernoble. I think Jib reached out to him and then added me in a call, so I also was able to talk to him. And so yeah, those were like the people that really helped me the most. Shout out to every one of my locals who helped me, lent me the cards last minute to play this deck. Specifically, I think Wilson and Justice. Shout out to my homies at Fairy Tail TCG. Yeah, shout out to Gamer's Choice for basically letting me get the entire deck in QCR with the Rarity Collection. Gamer's Choice Pack 5, they always hook it up. They always make sure I'm like looking clean every YCS. So those guys are amazing. If you guys haven't visited their store in New York City, you definitely should take the chance to. And I'm trying to see if I missed anyone. Shout out to the people I stayed with as well. Joey, Deadly, and Tommy. Deadly, you're gonna get your first top soon. I know it. And shout out to Bozos and Waff. All right. Anyways, let me get into the deck profile. Triple Neospace Connector and then Aqua Dolphin. So basically, this was the best normal summon in the deck. It's like the original Gen and Ken. When you normal summon this card, I don't think I've ever lost. Like, I did lose once actually in top 8 or top 32 because I got Imperm. I had like 3 bricks in my hand. Like that was actually super unlucky. But for the most part, most of the time when I normal summon this, I did like win because it's not even the fact that Connector is like insane. It's the fact that Dolphin is ridiculous. I would mill 3 summon Dolphin and just look at my opponent's hand, and like that was just so unfair. Especially when I know that like I can play through Nibiru. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a look at their hand, see if they have the Nib. If they do, I'll go into an Appaloosa line and then play underneath Appaloosa, and like that's just really broken as well. So just absolutely crazy. Not really much to say about it. For the Fire Warriors, you play Ogier, Oliver, Turpin, and Magus. Originally you play all these as one-ofs because the entire deck searches these cards, so you don't really need to play more than one-ofs of all the Infernoble Knights if you play Magus. So playing Magus was something we included at the end that allows you to essentially play everything at one. Okay, and I'll play the rest of the Infernoble Knight here as well. So Richard, aka Ricardetto, Renaud, Fireflint, Red Layer, it's a pseudo Infernoble Knight, and then Gearfried. So all these cards of Heritage, off Museum. Obviously this card is like probably the most unsearchable one, but technically is off of Ogier and then you know, Angelica. But these are all searchable. So like that's why like you only need to really play these at one for the utility. Like I think a lot of people play this. Like, it seems weird that you see like a deck with like so many one-ofs, but I think the ratios of my deck was really clean. I play every card that I want at 3 to be at 3. Every card that is at 1 is at 1 because they're all searchable. And every card and the only card in my deck that is at 2 is Durendal because opening Terraforming or Museum is just better. Okay. Yeah, my favorite Infernoble Knight is probably Gearfried. This guy has been my homie. This guy has been from like the OG days. This guy has always been clutch for me. I love this card. This card is so broken. So So basically, this is like the ratio. I'm really glad I played it. The inclusion that I played that not a lot of people really added to their deck was basically Red Layer. This was a card that we added to the deck that was, I think, just absolutely broken. There were so many game states where I hand trapped my opponent a lot, and the Red Layer just carried. Like, my opponent would make Low Knight pass after I hand trapped them. I'm like, damn, how do I out this Low Knight without playing into it? I go special Red Layer, swing to Low Knight, main phase 2 summon a Sold. The game just ends on the spot. So Red Layer was actually so clutch. I played against 2 Dragon Link players where, like, I just went, he went Seal Baron. I just go, alright, special Red Layer, enter battle, attack Seal, bounces over my thing, then I just special summon it again in mid phase 2. So it was just broken. Also, a lot of people, I played against the mechanical deck, and I wanted this card in my deck because I have like, I think like 12, 13, 14 ways to like search this card. And this card, putting it in my deck allows me to out Ibly lock, allows me to out getting the Acid Golem lock. It allows me to out like so many locks basically. But this card is searchable, so you only need to play one, because when you activate Museum, you control no monsters on the board. So like they'll have no cards to Low Knight. So you just go Museum, add Durendal, your opponent's Low Knight, and then you just search this card and then just swing. And also, like, when you have Museum with Red Layer, yeah, it goes to 2500, which can beat over a 2400 or a 3-mat Appaloosa, as well as it has the ability to beat over a Fenrir. So this card with Museum goes to 2500, inherent summon for free, just swing over anything. Like, it was just so crazy. So yeah, this card was like godsend. Like, there was one game I played against Tournament, I Ash Veiler impermed him, and he made Little Knight, and I go special Red Layer, swing, and then yeah, the game just ended. So that's all I really had to say. I just really wanted to point this card out because this card was absolutely insane for me. Then we have for the Demon Star package, one Dark Witch. She's so broken, honestly. Not much to say. And then for the hand traps, I played 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Veiler, and then we played 3 Joe and Lockbird, and then 3 Impermanence. I played 12 hand traps. I wanted to fit 12 because I feel like it gave me the best chance at, because I think right now in the format, it is really difficult to kind of board break people. Why? Well, if you look at all the decks in the metagame, if you let your opponent full combo and you have board breakers, you feel like you're breaking their board, but you never actually really do, because their follow-up is so broken that you will lose, pretty much. And so, like, I think these were the best, most generic hand traps into like the wide-ass 20 million decks in the format. Droll counters every ignorant deck that's being played right now. Like, Joel and Lockbird, the reason why I played it was because it countered every stupid deck that people wanted to play. Like, because there's so many decks in the game, like Joel was just so good into that. And I also really like Joel because I didn't want to lose to Minate. So, like, the theory with the issue is if you play a combo mirror, like, Joel's only banned to one deck, which is Unchained. So I'd rather have a card that was good against everything rather than have a card that was good into mainly Unchained. And this card by itself has a higher chance to stop Rescue Ways than Nib does to stop Rescue Ways. Because Droll, if they start Diablo Star Engine, makes it so that, like, they cannot get access to Emergency. And while Nib allows them to set 5, so, like, I think Joel was just better. Like, these 12 hand jumps are also, like, the best into Rescue Ways, in my opinion. So that's why, like, I really wanted to, like, play these specific ones, because they were just, like, the best into, like, Rescue as well. Like, I was really glad I played hand traps. Like, they won me so many games because I only won 3 dice rolls in Swiss. Like, in Swiss, I only won 3 dice rolls playing a broken-ass combo deck. So, like, if I didn't play these hand traps, I don't think I would have made it as far as I did. I just think I made a really good meta call to play hand traps instead of board breakers, and I think it paid off really well. So, then we have, I think the best card in the deck, Triple Museum. I had to return one of the QCR Museum that I borrowed from Gunther. Guys, if you have one, help a brother out. Help a brother out, man. That's all I'm saying. This is the best card in the deck for sure. Basically, when you get into hand trap wars with your opponent, like Ash, Veiler, Imperm, right? This card is like My Friend Pearly. Like, this is literally a My Friend Pearly. It like you're just going plus infinite off this, and like you use Magus, shuffle back all your equips every turn, add a card, every turn, add a card. Like, this card is just so busted because of like it's like 2 extenders in one card. Like, you literally get a free summon, and you get a free summon from the spell and trap zone. So this card was just so busted, and as a result, I saw not a lot of people play this, but we played terraforming too. Like, terraforming super outperformed because there's one game against Dragon Link. I opened double museum terraforming, and I broke his whole board because I opened like that. Like, it was just so crazy. Like, yeah, it's not once per turn, My Friend Pearly. So the more museums you open, the better your end board is, which is absurd. I was like, bro, what? Like, so I'm like, I just want to play more of this. So I cut the 3rd Durendal to play the terraforming instead, and I have no regrets. Like, this was just like literally the most broken part of the deck. Like, my opponents had to like read it twice to make sure, because like I'm like, yeah, dude, it's not once per turn, bro. It's so crazy. And then we have Triple Heritage of the Challenge, which is also a really broken card in the deck. The reason why this card is so broken is because it can add from the graveyard. So one of the ways I play around Droll is I don't use this to start unless I need to. I use this to, like, I would like make a soul, summon Oger dump what do you call it, like Ricardetto, and then I can use Heritage to add the Durendal that I foolish from my graveyard back to my hand. Like, under Droll. This card's insane. So like making a Soul Day, you foolishing equips and using Heritage to add the equips from the graveyard under Droll is broken, because then you can use like Durendal's secret effect, which allows you to like you can equip it to Oger, link off the Soul Day and the Oger into like a Little Knight, then trigger the secret effect of Durendal to bring back Ricardetto, then use Ricardetto to bring back Oger, and then make Angelica. Oger, target Angelica, summon a Captain Roland, send Turpin, then use Phoenix Blade to equip to the Captain Roland, bring back Turpin and make the 9 still, right? So like it's just like really, like, this card's like really like one of the best ways you can play under Droll. I really like this card. And so yeah, I played 2 Durendal because I don't think you need more than, I don't think you need 3 in my opinion. And then I played 1 All Mace, just for like the more equipped names. Angelica's Ring. This card is like, bro, I think my round 1 opponent, he like Ash nibbed me. I made like the full board through it, and he has Super Paul as well as playing Branded Despia. He enters battle phase, and goes Super Poly, and I'm like, Angel's Ring negate. He's like, oh, you can't respond. I'm like, yeah, but like it doesn't actually activate, and like we had a judge call over it, and yeah, so yeah, this card negated Super Poly and won me the game. So nice. And then the DDR, this card's also really busted. It's like one of your ways to play around Nib. Then Phoenix Blade, this card is banned in the OCG, I believe, for a reason. So infinite resource. This card is crazy. And then for the last couple of cards, we played Triple Wanted Package. I mean, bro, this card also lets you play around Droll. And I didn't play without a playmat during the tournament because I told myself I'm gonna play with a playmat once I made Top Cut. So yeah, but yeah, this wanted card is literally a free mulligan for like any bad cards you draw, because you can like dump it and get a free draw off the spell. And then it just lets you play under Droll and Nibiru really well. Like, it's one of the best extenders going first. And then I played obviously the Sinful Sword Snake Eye. This card's really good. I wish I like knew that this card can summon a level 1 from my hand, because I had a really cool line with this card if I could summon a level 1, but I didn't know I could summon level 1 from the hand, but my friend told me after, so now I know. And then the last thing is 1 Rhoda. Every card in my deck. Okay, so 44 cards. Yeah, every card was like mandatory in this deck. I honestly don't know what I would cut. Like every card felt like mandatory. The hand traps are obviously like situational, but I wanted to play 12 and you know, so that's why. So yeah. For the extra deck, Emperor Charles the Great. That's my boy right here. This card is absolute, like this card by itself is 3 interruptions if you resolve it. Literally so busted. I don't really know what to say. This card was just like absurd, bro. Like, oh my god, I love this card so much. Not once per turn, spell trap negate. Yeah. Anima. So a lot of people play. I think this card is like really broken. A lot of people play Karibo, but I think Anima's better because like you play Nibru in the side deck, so you can like anima their token, and you play a lot of level 1, so you turn your Diablo Star engine into a way to like anima your opponent. I animated like so many of my opponents this past weekend. It was really, really good. I played 1 Link Spider because if you get Nibru, it allows you to turn the Link Spider into the Nib token to a Link Spider, so you can still activate. Because the issue is this card requires you to send a face-up card on the field to the graveyard. If you have a Nibru token, you can't send a token for cost off the spell. So you play Link Spider in order to convert the token into a Link Spider. So now you can like activate the spell to send the Link Spider, so you can still keep playing after Nibru. So that's why Link Spider's in the deck. That came up like I think about 4 times because all my opponents opened Nib, but it didn't do anything. Double Little Knight. This card was absurd. I saw a lot of people playing 1. Because I watched every single Noble Knight profile to see how it's being played right now, and I realized that like second Low Knight came up for me a lot. Like it won me so many games, but a lot of people play a Ferocious Swordsman whatever instead. Yeah, that is terrible because every Fire Warrior in your deck is Ferocious Swordsman, so you don't need Ferocious Swordsman in your extra deck because like Little Knight is just better because this is a generic warrior monster as well. So that's why like this card is just like better. Like I was making this card, then making a Soul Day with it after, and just full combo on people. It was insane. You're never fire locked. Yeah, it doesn't need to be fire though. Honestly. And then I played double Soul Day. I mean, this card should be banned. Honestly, like I'm not even just saying that. Like this card should have been banned ages ago. Like this card literally adds a card for follow up, and then teleports any warrior from your deck. Like, bro, like, so busted. Like this card is busted, bro. Appaloosa. This card is really broken too. Like a lot of my opponents didn't know I played it in my extra deck, so they like didn't nib me. I actually in my top 4 match, I played against the Unchained guy who got 2nd place. Really cool dude, by the way. But in game 2, I looked at his hand with Dolphin. I saw Nib. He had Nib and Imperm, I believe. And I was like, yeah, no problem. I saw his hand with Dolphin. And then I had like a way to make Appaloosa. I'm like, anything on res? He's like, nope. I'm like, yep. I slammed Appaloosa down. And that card just cooked. But even if he nibbed me before, I would just make Link Spider, then activate the Wanted spell. So it didn't really matter. But I got a free Appaloosa because he didn't know I played my extra, which I thought was actually insane as well. So... and then we played Typhon. This card is absolutely also broken. Like you're trying to break your opponent's board. The game gets really simplified. It won me one of my matches, and honestly, that was like solid enough against Tirlament. I was grinding with Tirlament back and forth, and like I was able to summon this card and like out Mud Dragon. And this card was just absolutely crazy. So I only made this card once the entire tournament, but if I didn't have it in my extra deck, I would have lost the match. So I'm happy I played it. It only came up one time. But it's just like, if I didn't have it, there's no other card in that position that would have won me that game. So, like, I don't think it's, like, mandatory, but I made space for it just in case of that situation. And thank God it came up against Tournament. Because I won because of it, so. Battling Boxer Dempsey, my boy. Card's broken. So just any level 4 Fire Warrior or lower. We got Baron the Fleur. This is actually crazy. This card is broken. I make this card a lot. This card was like really, really good for me. I think my best end board is like, I can show you what my best end board was I made during the entire tournament. It was like this. It was like Appaloosa, Baron, Double Charles, Little Knight, I think, and then I had a Gearfried here. Oh no, I didn't have this. I had a Gearfried here. No, I had Little Knight because I had to use Gearfried, and then Angelica comes back here. That was like probably my best end board the entire tournament. It was like something like this, and then I had I had like Ash Veiler as well. I was like, yeah, this board is like literally like all Starlights, huh? Yeah, I literally made the full Starlight board on my opponent. That was insane. Anyways, I think did I do that on stream? I think I did do that on stream too. Game 2, yeah. I had like Ash, Veiler, Nib, and like full board. Yeah, yeah. Anyways, so Angelica, this is like the most busted Synchro 5 I've read in a long time, bro. What is this card? This card is crazy. It like adds you Museum, and then like it also can it allows you to like send a Fire Warrior and then tag yourself out into like the OG Captain Roland. This card was actually so broken. I love this card. This card is really, yeah, it's literally like Ib for the Warrior deck. Like it's so broken. Like when I resolve this card, I go +6. I think it's so crazy. Then Captain Roland, that's the OG guy. That card is also really broken. Because this card, and the thing with this deck that a lot of people like realize yet is that Little Knight, it's a warrior monster. So when you can Captain Roll into Little Knight, trigger Charles to pop a card, but then your Little Knight goes to 2100 attack. It is really hard to beat over this. And then you'll quit Phoenix Blade to Little Knight too, so it goes to like 24. So it's like, bro, like this Little Knight is like 2400 attack, which is like really difficult to like just swing over majority of the time, which I thought was really neat. And another cool interaction that comes up with Little Knight that I guess I forgot to explain was Magus makes it so that Little Knight can't be destroyed by battle, and that actually won me one of my games. Like it was so crazy. I played against Pearly, and my opponent like special summoned a Frenir. I cross out his Frenir, and then he attacks over my Little Knight, and I'm like, okay, it can't be destroyed by battle. And then when I activate Little Knight to banish his cat, I trigger the Magus because it went to the graveyard to draw another card. So it was just like insane. Yeah, that was a cool interaction. I thought it was nice. Yeah, the Little Knight being a warrior so that you can equip Infernoble monsters to it is like insane. Yes, and then I played the last synchro is obviously the Charles, the OG Synchro 9. That guy's insane too. Yep, so that's pretty much it. So just to like recap, because I kind of went over the place. These are the synchros: Angelica, Infernoble Knight, Captain Roland, Infernoble Knight, Emperor Charles, Baron of the Fleur. And then for the XYZs, we have Battling Blocks for Dempsey, we have Typhon. And then for the links, we have 2 Isoldes, Anima, Link Spider, 2 Little Knight, 2 Emperor Charles the Great, and then 1 Appaloosa. Yep. So that's pretty much the deck. And then I think this deck was built really well. And a huge part of it was actually the side deck. So let me explain it. I think our deck was just like so well built. Like I was really happy with it. Like because I spent a lot of time like theorying more than actually like playing. Because we were in like the lab trying to like figure out the best way to build this deck, because the deck building is really hard, and then the technical play with this deck is also really hard. But we had to like solve the deck building part first, in my opinion, because I feel like if you have a bad list with Infernoble, it's really hard to do well. Where like if you have a really good list, like a lot of these situations we theoried up actually came up, and so like I was really happy with our deck list. And then now let me go into like the side deck. 3D to Crow, because it covered like Pearly, Unchained, and Tearlament. So it covered 3 matchups. And I did like if you guys want, I actually made side patterns for every single deck in the metagame. So I knew exactly how to side in and out for every deck. Like I literally took the time to like decide which card comes out of my deck for every single matchup, and that's how we came up with the side deck. It wasn't random. Like all the cards you'll see pretty soon are very like meticulously like decided upon. So I think I'll show some of that right after this deck profile too. But yeah, 3 Duty Crow, 3 Nibru. These covers like the combo decks. And this covered Pearly. So yeah, I think this was really good. Just more hand traps. We have 12 in the main. You're able to go to 18 post side. You can also go to 15 with 3 Fenrir, which is also really broken. And then when we went first, one of the things we did was we wanted to make sure that if our opponents also do 18 hand trap post side, we want to have like the best chance at beating that. And so Crossout and Callby were absolutely insane. Okay, so basically this allows you to like go first and like win. Like basically if you win game 1 and then you go first game 3 with these cards in your deck, I don't know how you can lose. So yeah, Crossout was really broken. And one of the things that we did, what I thought that was very unique, is we turned Crossout into a non-engine card for Pearly. If you look at our side deck, we already had a lot of coverage for Pearly with the 3 Crow, the main deck hand traps, and all that good stuff. But we wanted 3 more cards for Pearly because the deck is very, very strong. Like, we definitely respected the Purely deck a lot. So we sided Crossout and for going first, obviously. But then we made it a going second card for Pearly as well by putting 1 Yeep in our extra deck. I mean, our side deck. So like when we go second, this is better. It's like basically 3 Book of Eclipse, basically going second into that matchup. So like instead of having this, like we're able to save side deck slots as a result of this like tech card, right? So I think like that was something that like I think really was like, I guess, forward thinking, because by doing this, we're able to save slots in our side deck to play this engine. And this card was like freaking busted, bro, because basically the theory we had was, when if you guys have been playing the format lately, you'll notice that when you and your opponent are hand trapping each other to death, right, like these cards right here, do you know what cards shine on top? It's these Fenrirs. These Fenrirs are like what wins you. So like basically the way this deck plays right now is when we go first, it's obviously a broken ass combo deck. But how do we play the deck when it goes second, right? We basically made the deck a mid-range deck when it goes second, because when we go second, we try to like hand trap war our opponent, and in a fight for resources, cards like Fenrir are really broken. Cards like Museum are all really broken. And as a result, like what we wanted to do was, all right, game 1, we're gonna like have all these like equips, we're gonna like play all this. We just side out all the brick equips. We side out like DDR, Phoenix Blade, Angelica's Ring, all that stuff. We start putting in like the hand trap, we start putting in Fenrirs, right? So that when we go second, we're able to like play mid-range and then outgrind our opponent. And so that's why like these type of cards are really good. And also Fenrir is not only a going second card, but it's also a going first card, because if you open Fenrir plus a wanted spell, it is full combo through Nibiru. So just opening this by itself with a wanted spell plays through Nib. Like, that is absurd. Like, it's full combo. Not even like playing through Nib and on like shit board. You play through Nib and end on like the God board. Like, so it's like it was both engine. It was both non-engine for going second and engine for going first. The reason why we didn't main it was because of the fact that it was really bad game 1 when you only have 9 hand traps. But this card really shines when you hand trap your opponent twice. Yeah, it's like Jib figured out the line with this. This is a cool line from Jib. So, and so yeah, that's pretty much the deck. I really liked it. Oh, also, let me talk about this card. The reason why you play this card is because it's a level 4 Fire Warrior, and that's really important for the deck, because level 4 Fire Warriors allows you to go into Angelica with level 1 tuners. Also, like this card banishes my opponent. I banished my opponent's like Lava Golem to like win the game, which is crazy. Like, I banished the top 3 cards of his deck and impacted his deck, which is insane. But yeah, any level 4 Fire Warrior is always combo with Wanted, so that's why. So this card was insane for me. I won a game off resolving the effect to banish 3 cards off of my opponent's deck against Tier Limit and against like Mekanko, which I thought was like really neat. So this card was really good for me. So yeah, I think those were like, that was pretty much the deck. I can show you guys like the 1 connector combo real quick, because I guess that'll be like kind of important to show. So you go like normal summon connector, bring back the dolphin. This is like the 1 card combo. And then, you know, you can look at your opponent's hand, sure. You go into a Soul Day with these 2. A Soul Day effect will add you like a red layer, like basically a generic fire warrior monster for like the turn after. And then you'll activate the effect to send 4 equips to the graveyard, typically DDR, Angelica's Ring, Durandal, and Phoenix Blade. That will allow you to summon an Ogier from the deck. And that will be right here. And then you'll use Ogier's effect to dump Turpin to the graveyard. And then you'll activate the effect of Phoenix Blade to banish the Dolphin and the Connector. To add it back to your hand, you'll equip it to Ogier. Then you'll activate Chirpin to special summon itself from the graveyard. Then you'll XYZ both of these into a Battling Boxer Dempsey. You can then use Dempsey's effect to add a Renaud to your hand. And then you can special summon Renaud to add a DDR back to your hand. Here you can then go activate the DDR, pitch the free card you got, summon back the connector, and then use Renaud and the connector to make Angelica. Right? So here is the Angelica. You'll use Angelica's effect to get the museum. You'll play the museum. That'll grab you a Durandal. And then from here you can activate the effect of, like, for example, Dempsey. You can detach one to target itself so it's untargetable. And then you can go like Ogier effect, target the Angelica, chain the Angelica. That will summon you the Captain Roland, and that will foolish any fire warrior from the deck to the hand, right? I think like, so the options are like Oliver, and then Gearfried. And then from here you have you haven't used this effect yet to summon, so from the spell and trap zone, and then you still have Durandal live. So is that right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, and then here you can go activate Durandal effect. Let me see if I can get this. That'll grab you the Oliver. And then here we can go Phoenix Blade again. Banishing these two. Get the free card back. And then from here you can go Oliver, pitch this, summon itself. This becomes a level 1 tuner. And then I think what I was doing was I think you have to link these two off. Making Low Knight. Then you can use a Turpin effect to equip. Effect, summon it. Summon this. Then you can go effect, equip to this. Link this off into Charles. You'll trigger it to summon this back. And this is like typically it's like a 1-card combo. You like rip the card out of your opponent's hand, and this card is like 3 interruptions because it's a quick effect pop. You have Angelica's Ring, and then you can equip a Magus at your opponent's end phase. At your end phase. So when you negate, you'll like draw a card as well. You have a spell negate, a spell trap negate, a pop off this, and you have a banish, right? You can also go for a Gearfried too. This card is more follow-up though, but yeah, you can choose. Yeah, so there's also a line where you end on Gearfried instead as well. So I think the line there is that you would get all mace, right? Yeah, but there's a bunch of different variations, but like it's like 1 card, 4 interrupts, looked at your opponent's hand. And yeah, Angelica's Ring is like really stupid. Yeah. You can like choose to not play the Sinful Spoils package and play Fenrir, I think. I think that can work if you guys want. Joel doesn't really beat this deck. You can like do a bunch of test hands with it and still beat Joel, to be honest. It's just like the lines are a little bit harder, I think, but yeah. So that's pretty much the deck. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the little bit long-winded deck profile, and maybe you guys learned something as well. I think I officially got 3rd overall, and I got my 2nd Glutonia this season, which is pretty cool. So I have a 2nd prize card from the season. I have a super, which was an ultra, but still fine. Yeah.